Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Beaky, a good friend. A friend like me needs help. I would like for y'all to subscribe, share the story around, share it twice, comment, and watch it twice. Every little action y'all do helps me out in a long way. Now, this next story is called The Seven Gates of Helm. Hope you enjoy it. Some say on Halloween night, if you go past the 7 black gates, you'll see the 7 gates of hell. Well, I thought it was a myth at first until I tried it. I went past the 7 black gates around my neighborhood, and then, when I went to sleep, my dreams were of a furious fire. Then it stopped. It was a man, tall and bulky. His eyes were rather squint, which shows he's old. His legs and hands were thin, and they looked like he could barely support his own weight. He spoke with a scratchy, dying tone. He said, "Imo plu ot in nav steak for ella." He chuckled and opened the gate. My whole body became numb, moving on its own as if I couldn't fight it. Struggling didn't work. I gave up trying to fight it, and the struggling without the control, I went past the first gate. Gate 1. I saw fire showing the corpses, that they were horribly mutilated, desecrated, and burnt. They were sobbing so loudly that I couldn't hear the crackles of the fire. One came to me with an eye and bullet holes all over him. He said, "We are the desecrated corpses who do not get a proper burial. We stay here until Judgment Day." I went past him, got to the second gate. It was a building. Gate 2. I was in a dungeon. There were people tied up screaming in pain. One was sawed halfway, and very slowly his body kept healing, ready to be sold once again. One was in an iron maiden with a door being closed and opened, and his body looked as normal as ever. A man in an executioner's mask said to me, "We are the torturers, tortured by our own devices." I went past him and exited. I walked into the third gate. Gate 3. This time, I was in the forest. It was silent except for a few yells. There was a man hanging from a noose. Another fell off a cliff, reappeared, fell off again. I was running away from what I saw. I saw was a horribly burnt woman chasing after me. I already knew what this one was. These were the people who commit suicide. I ran into the fourth gate. It was a palace. Gate 4. I was in there. I saw emperors, politicians, really wealthy people, and emperors being gnawed on by lions. And when the lions ripped them apart or slashed them, he grew back. A politician was being eaten by what looked like shadows in prisoner's clothing. A man in a suit came to me and said, "We are the corrupt people, the power who use our power to not to help ourselves, but not help the people." I walked past and went to the fifth gate. Gate 5. I was in another room. There was a man tied up and lashed by a floating leather whip. A woman was being burnt by a lighter, but her screams were muffled by a cloth that she used as a gag. A rather large man came and said, "We are the rapists. and the sex offenders paying for our crimes on earth. I ran to the sixth gate. Gate 6. I was in a large room again. I saw a woman being stabbed, but their wounds were just healing immediately. Another was being burned alive, and another was being hit and jabbed with a floating metal bar. And these were the people who were murderers being harmed by the way they killed their victims. The exit was the 7th gate, the final one. The nightmare is almost over. It's almost over, I said to myself. Gate 7. I was outside. There was a man wearing a shroud over his head coated with explosives. He blew up, regenerated, and blew up again. Another was being beaten, stabbed, and tortured by small objects, and burnt by torches, lighters, and matches. They were the people who looked like shadows. One of them came to me and said, "We are the mass murderers, the terrorists, the suicide bombers. I am the shadow of the one of his victims, beating him and taking revenge for killing us on Earth." I ran to the exit. When I woke up the next morning, I became horribly scared. Images of what I saw came through my head, and in fact, all I was thinking was for the whole year until it became Halloween again. I didn't dare go outside that night. I just went to bed. It took me a while to sleep, but when I was in front of the first gate of hell, there was a teenager like me who was staring at me. Shocked to see me, my body became numb. I could not control myself again. I said to him in a scratchy, dying tone, "Imklato ot it nev steag fro el." I chuckled and opened the gate for him. After he went inside with an expression that looked like he was fighting something and struggling, I looked at myself in a goblet, filled with what it looked like was blood. I saw the gatekeeper. I became the gatekeeper. In fact, I am the gatekeeper. If you like the story, like I said in the beginning, share it around, put a like down there, comment down below, and have a safe night. And let me know if you came out of the 7 gates. I'm still a bit afraid to go to sleep tonight. I'm on gate duty.